Leah genders. Is it time to change the station? Is it time to change the station? Leah genders.
Thank you. Hi. As we get started today, I would like you to pull up into your mind a song from your youth. Maybe it was a song that was your favorite song during an important time in your life. Or maybe it was a song they played on the radio all the time. Or perhaps, depending on how old you are, it might be a song that was on the very first CD or tape or vinyl record that you ever bought with your own money. Okay, do you have the song? I would bet if I turn that song on right now, you could sing every lyric from beginning to end without having to try very hard. Am I right? You don't have to strain to remember the lyrics. You just know them. But I can be sitting at my desk and get up and walk into the kitchen and completely forget what I went in there for. But for some strange reason, I know every single word to the theme song of the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Why does that happen? It's because our brains love repetition. And especially when it's tied to something that has to do with emotion, or maybe nostalgia, or maybe I just watched too much TV in the 90s. But our brain likes repetition, and what it does is it grooves that into our brain, kind of like a groove in a vinyl record, where that's why it's just there, and you're not thinking about it. But this doesn't happen with just songs. It happens with our thoughts. And our internal dialogue shapes who we are, what we believe that we can do, and how we act. So we have to be very careful that the thoughts that we have are helping us and not hindering us. Because just like that song, those thoughts are just there. You're not trying to think things. They're just already there in the background. I'm a health coach and a personal trainer. Lots of times the things my clients say to me give me some insight into what their internal dialogue might be. And I have to preface this with saying, often people say things to me cloaked in humor, sometimes self-deprecating humor. But your brain doesn't know humor, it knows repetition. I'll give you an example. I hand a weight to a client and she says, ha ha ha, Leah, don't forget I'm old. Ha ha. That tells me that she might have some limiting thoughts about her age. And I've heard it from women that are 35 and women that are 70. So the age isn't the issue.
Yep.
People say things to me like, ha ha ha, Leah, you're underestimating how lazy I really am. And this is usually coming from women who have successful careers and families and successful children, and they do volunteer work and they're active in their church. And so this tells me this isn't a lazy person, but she must have some guilt about what she thinks she should be doing that she's not doing. And then I hear all the usual suspects. I can't, it's too hard, I'm not strong enough. And the worst, or maybe the most damaging, is I'm not the kind of person who does that relating to health and fitness practices. Because now we're tying our identity to the things that we do and do not do. And I'm talking about health and fitness because that's my work, but this applies to everything. It applies to your career. It applies to your relationships, to your goals, to success in however you define that for yourself. These stories become the soundtrack of our brain. We're not trying to remember the lyrics. They're just already there. If we're not careful, it creates an unconscious feedback loop. And what happens is you say things like, ha ha ha, I'm so lazy. Ha ha, this is funny. But then when you don't do the thing that you thought you were supposed to do or wanted to do, it reinforces that negative thought. And then you say, see, I'm lazy. And then you get a negative outcome. You don't get the results or the progress that you wanted. Okay, so now think of the very worst song that you can think of. I don't have kids. For me, it's those YouTube songs with the cartoons, and I never can turn it off because it seems like every time I hear them, I'm sitting in a waiting room and there's a toddler with an iPad, but it's like that Baby Shark one, you know, do, 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 do. If you hear something on the radio you don't like, you're going to reach over and turn it off. You're going to change the station. You're not going to let something in your external environment play out that you don't want to hear. But for some reason, in our internal world, we let it go on repeat. We have to learn to listen for it because it's mostly subconscious. We're not doing it on purpose. We don't even realize most of the time we're doing it. So we need to change the song. And it's not about making stuff up or false positives, but you look at the evidence of your life. And chances are, if you've been on this earth for a couple of decades or many, many more than that, you've been through some shit. Can I swear at Toastmasters? You've overcome obstacles. You have achieved things. You've done hard things. There's so much, and because you're sitting here today, I already know you're resilient because you're here. You've come to the other side of it. Why can't that be the story that you tell yourself? Why can't that be the song that's playing in your subconscious in the background? I'm resilient. I'm strong. I can figure anything out. I think it's time to change the song. Let that be the story that's grooved into your brain, like your favorite song from your youth. And that will change your life. Thank you.
Very good.